Aye, yeah, aye, drop, aye. Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now.
Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Two runners, and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the just
Changed in the ghetto.
stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now. All the
Nothing
bitches
changed in the ghetto.
two runners, and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the just
Changed in the ghetto. And I never
What's up? What's up? What's the word? Super Bowl weekend on the way. You know what time it is on Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Every second with Cluren Williams. You know what time it is. Hello, Hooray, mojo guys. You know what time it is. We here to stay. Shout out to the production team. Shout out all my supporters. Shout out our sponsors, UPC and the band, the Brotherhood there. And buying the block back, teaching us real estate, to invest, how to build wealth. We all know how to get some money, but do we know how to build wealth? So thank you guys for being here with me. We live. You know what time it is. It only works if you're live. So if you're kidding the live, catch the live and turn on live. We want you to share the live feed, share the feed, share the feed. So I got some special guests here. We're gonna tackle numerous of topics. You know what time it is. We got some events coming up, and things like that. And we're going to get into it today. First, we'll bring in our first guest, of the hour, Miss Linda Nuno. Uh, uh, there she is. There she is. Now, this is an amazing woman here. This is an amazing queen and has experienced a lot of trauma, but is strong. So I don't want that to defer you as somebody who is very vulnerable or naive or can defend for themselves. No, this woman is a true revolutionary. She is the sight, just seeing her standing and fighting for iniquities and the things that we all should be fighting for is total inspiration. I thank you so much for coming to the show. Please introduce yourself to the world.
Well, first of all, thank you, Collins. Thank you so much for the opportunity. You know, the admiration is mutual. You need to know that our stories have resound across the globe, and I'm just so proud to call you my friend, my brother in arms, and we keep fighting. You know, in different fronts, and I need your support, like always. I always run back to you, brother, because at this point I am, I'm running for Congress. Incredibly enough, you know more than anybody that I'm not a politician. I'm just another victim, like it was your family. Like there's thousands of us across the state and in the nation, for that matter.
Hmm.
We need to start electing people that represent, you know, the nation. I'm running for District 10, which includes 13 counties, all the way from here in Austin to Houston, and then Madison to Colorado. And in this district is we have 925,348 souls. And I also want to make a call, because this is not about politics anymore. It's not about color. It's not about what. It's not about tribalism in a way. This is not a game, a sport. This is about the very soul of our democracy, and the
Yes.
issues that have targeted us is across the board. It doesn't matter if you are a Republican, a Libertarian, uh, identify with the concepts of a Green Party or Democrat. You will get equally killed and
Yes.
targeted by police. And I'm also fighting for family reform. Our family courts are corrupted,
Uh
and
huh.
there's a reason for that. Dark money, and the problem is that we have nearly half a million orphans in Texas on any given day. I was in an orphanage for 4 years, And I know what happens behind those walls better
Yeah.
than anybody, than any politician for that matter. And I found very sad that nobody's talking for our children,
Yeah.
because they don't
Yeah.
vote, you know,
Yeah.
they don't represent a group of interest per se, because they don't have a voice and they don't have parents to stand up for them, right?
Okay.
Um,
What do
Go ahead.
you? I got a quick question. I don't want to stop you because let's just listen to you. I'm already ready to. It's so much goes through my mind. But so my question is this: before I lose sight of my question, um, what got you into wanting to run for office? For one, okay, and could you give us a backstory of yourself and how you even got to this point? You just don't come off to me as somebody who grew up wanting to be in politics, wanting to be in the field with boots on the ground, putting yourself in danger in front of the police, fighting against the police, fighting against injustice, fighting for others, fighting for black, white, brown, women, men, children. What how did you get here? That's what we want to know.
You see, you are absolutely right. It doesn't match my psychological profile. It doesn't match my background. I am an introvert by nature. I started fighting for my daughter. I was fighting for custody against a police officer who is not even the father of my child, the biological father of my child. And the problem is that a very high rank politician who is a judge for the Republican Party is the father of my child. And in order to avoid a scandal, they decided, the police union decided to cover up after this officer who has been stalking me for a decade now. And he retaliated by taking custody of my child and making her a pawn into this, horror story. I was raped by this officer in 2013. I was under sleep medication. And by this time, he has been stalking me and my then fiance for like 2 years. I broke up with my fiance, and this officer just showed up on my door like around 2:30 a.m. I had already taken my medication, and he took advantage of me. Uh, I'm not here to cry for myself. I thankfully I had a lot of support along the way. I studied psychology 2 years. And it's never enough, in order to heal your own story. It's not the same to have the knowledge, academically speaking, that actually walk the walk, and that was hard, but it's doable. And I'm done being a victim, just like you, just like your brother. We have become advocates, and we have become warriors, and we want to inspire others. That's the reason why I'm running. I want to inspire others. I want to be represent an ideal, really, that everything is possible. And then I need your voice to step up, because although I'm very proud and I'm super grateful that thousands of people took the streets, we were there, walking miles and miles with tens of thousands of people. But taking the streets is only the first step, right? We need a voice where decisions are made. And that's the only way to neutralize the damage that the Republican Party has done to us. That's why I run for office. I had no choice. I had no choice. Like I said, I do not. Uh, I'm not a politician. I didn't study. I didn't went for for this particular token when it comes to socioeconomics, or the background that is needed, or macroeconomics.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that the change is needed. I may not have gone to Harvard when it
Yeah.
comes to yeah, to law. I only have 1 year of law, and it was in Mexico City. And it has nothing to do with these laws, right? But you don't have to be an accountant to know what is 1 plus 1, and
Yeah,
that at one
yeah,
point you have 5,000 civilians killed by police. You
yeah.
know, you don't
A
have
lot
to
of
be
this,
a mathematician.
yeah, a lot of this stuff is common sense. We're not. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see injustice, feel injustice, know that. And with you is not just pure injustice; it's pure torture. You were raped by an officer. You were raped by a police officer. You know, and that in itself is a tremendous experience to have on you and a burden. Now, what did that all cause? What is, because it's not just that happening to you. What did that cause? Because I always tell people that you got to understand that when we go through things like this, it's not just that incident. There's a whole tumble of other things that happens right after this happens, and it sounded like you and your fiance broke up. So it was some things happening right after that. Can you give me a illustration of what was happening after that? How much did it affect you in Pacific?
Well, I fortunately, it's I went through the 5 steps of grief. To this day, I cannot form intimate relationships with a partner. I don't even have a boyfriend per se. Right now, I'm super focused, not in my pain, not in my challenges, but the fact that my baby, Tiffany, has been used as a pawn for many years against me in order to silence me and stop asking for justice. The incredible toll that has taken into my daughter, because yes, it's true, it's torture, it's sexual abuse, is rape, is emotional psychological destruction of the psyche. But when you are targeting the kids, when you're targeting a mom using their kids as a tool, as a pawn to control and micromanage another person, I think that's another whole new level. You're talking about a dark triad at that point. My daughter has been mutilated, you know, mutilated, literally mutilated, dentally speaking. I have reached to every single institution out there that was there to supposedly help us,
Mhm.
and then you realize, the deeper that you go into this rabbit hole, you realize that the problem is not just the people in charge of this institution, it's not just the police chief, it's not just the city council approving a contract where Article 143 allows them to brutalize and commit crimes against humanity, and get out free. The problem is not just CLEAT has a union, the police union. The problem is not just the police associations across the nation that have like, it's millions of dollars to fight people like you and me. So we will never have a voice or justice. Delayed justice is denied justice. And
Yes.
um, and in some cases, even when you have the resilience to endure the process, a legal process that you already know, you're very familiar with what I'm talking about, it takes years, and
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
re-victimization of it and the whole trauma your family has to go through. And
Yeah.
if by some miracle you don't end up killing yourself or
Yeah. Yeah.
die by natural causes, that's what they, you know cheapen on. um, they get away with it, and then you have to talk about the dark money and politics that have allowed this, because judges get endorsements by the police union, judges get money donated to their campaigns in order to be elected,
Yeah.
and that has to stop. Michael McCall is a well-known mogul when it comes to media and broadcasting. He has like 855 radio stations or something like that, and not just here in the U.S. but across the globe. He has another really ridiculous amount of TV stations, And it's that platform that has allowed the Republican Party to deliver their level of demagoguery, really, and propaganda, neo-Nazi propaganda. Let's be clear on this token. It's neo-Nazi propaganda what they've been broadcasting through this, platforms. And every single predecessor that I ever had, Michael Siegel was one of them, had been censored by my opponent, right? That's why
Yeah.
they never they're very close but not quite, they always fall behind for 4 points, 2 points, you name it.
Yeah.
And at this point I believe that people need to realize, and we are waking up as a nation,
Yeah. We are.
that this is not a partisan issue, this is not a race issue,
Yes.
this is about democracy, and
Yes,
where
it
you're
is.
standing on.
Yeah. This is what
And my
you're right.
yeah, and has you already know there's like 435 seats in Congress,
Hmm.
and they are divided by territory. And because Texas is one of the biggest ones, we have 38 seats in Congress, right? And this is where it's interesting. It's very unique what's happening right now in this point in history, because we have 38 seats, but six of them, six chairs, were not even challenged.
Yeah.
That's why the state keeps
Names.
being
Yeah.
red.
Yeah.
Please hear me out.
Yeah. It does.
Somebody,
It does. I think that
somebody,
we're changing the look and the dynamics of the way people should see why we're involved. I think it has been played down. I think people got tired of fighting and marching and trying to get involved. And I think it's just was time to pass the torch. I feel like that some of those people are not trying to pass the torch. They're not trying to dethrone. They're not trying to be dethroned. They're trying to stay there until they die, and that's why it's hard to see a complete change. We're tired of momentarily victories and, like you say, justice that's placed on pause. Which is, like you said, not justice at all. And so your presence here on the show also speaks volumes to why I do what I do. I got so many people that believe that I'm a certain type of way, or I only work with a certain type of persons or people, or I only fight for blacks. And now that I got you here, I can literally prove that I am a humanitarian. Because I see that I feel like I gotta fight for everything in Travis County. Now, my next question is, through all the situations that you have occurred and you've overcome so far in a very small amount of time, and I know that the mental trauma is there. I know that the pain is there. I understand the reasoning for stuffing with the workload, right? And so I want to know about your healing process. Also, some of your uh, positioning in Congress. Like, one, we want to know how we can help you in your campaign. I am a campaign organizer. I'm going to personally help you. I have other people on the show. They need to get involved with you. One thing that I had to learn when I got out and I started doing this work, and I started off as an activist, and now I'm a revolutionary. Um, I had to partner and fight for topics and things that may not or may have pertained to my situation to get the alliance and build the alliance and the support that I had, because the understanding was not there. A lot of people don't understand what we're going through. They read it, they watch it on the news, they hear it every day, but they yet have had to experience it. What is the word or a positive message that you're using to continue to make it through and be who you are right now, but not just right now, also be better and be able to do the work that you're doing?
I'm trying to inspire others. First of all, I didn't know that you being a humanitarian and an activist and an advocate for all of us was even on the table. I was you know, even question it, especially you know. Anyway, so welcome to politics, darling. That's how they try to get you down and take your support out. And it comes with a territory, you know, it comes with a territory. More than anything, we are motivational speakers, to be honest with you. We're trying to inspire others. We trying to put everybody on the table because, like I said, I mean, the name right now at this moment, maybe my name may be in the on the ballot, but the district belongs to Texas and every single Texan, and I truly greatly appreciate it. I swear to you, I need you to help me with my campaign. I need boots on the ground. I'm holding you know, a canvassing event during this you know, during this weekend. Ocasio is coming. We need those big names also with us. We need to make alliances with everybody, and I understand what you're talking about. I understand that it's hard sometimes to agree on certain topics, but in order to achieve one goal, if you and I can only, you know, agree that we need change when it comes to police reform, and if at least let's work towards that, you know, and then let's find out how we have more things in common, not just through victimization, but as people, you know, as humans, and closing the gap, you know, closing the gap. I really need you at this moment. I have no idea about, you know, campaigns or time management or publicity. I am not a politician, like I said, and it's a whole infrastructure. I mean, that's why they have millions of dollars. I mean, this guy McCall is you know, fueled by the gas and oil industry, right? And there's a reason for that. It's super expensive. I never thought that it would be this expensive, but I believe that it doesn't matter how much money you have on the. I'm not gonna be able to outspend him. That's for
Usually
sure. I already know that.
well, usually in politics, if you get the funding behind it and you win it in the funding, you're more than likely going to win the race and the vote. And that's kind of like they go hand in hand. I peeped that. I've been helping with Lee Merritt in his campaign as he go, and Beto. I believe that those two guys running hand in hand with Texas Attorney General and our Texas Governor, and then you here actually, I feel like that was the next part of our battle. We had to get leverage from the inside. We didn't have a lot of people inside working that thought like us. They were working. They are working from the inside, but they still didn't think like us. And so to get you in the inside, somebody who has been actually held accountable and also been fighting to hold others accountable in higher places and have been victimized. And I hate to say victimized, but I don't know what else to call it. It's very troubling just every time I even gotta say it and repeat it, because I couldn't imagine somebody hurting you. I couldn't imagine somebody wanting to hurt you. I just don't understand that. And as a man, the protection side of me wants to do something. I don't understand it. But you know, again, inspiration, I'll take that. Being inspired, you are my inspiration, and I'm sure you're gonna inspire others. I got two more guests in the back here. Um, um, uh, Ted, if you don't mind, let's bring my guest on, my co-host. All right, there go Tay, and there goes Mr. Vinziant. How y'all doing, brothers? I
What's
want
going
y'all,
on?
I want to challenge you guys.
Yeah, what's good?
What's good? I want to challenge you guys to help get boots on the ground and work with me. Miss Linda here is going, and she is going for a seat in the district. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all heard a lot about her story with you in the background. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys a second here. Victor, please introduce yourself as my co-host and one of our sponsors here out of UPC also, and you holds it down like you do.
Yeah. Hey, so this is Victor Vinziant, UPC. see it right here on my sweatshirt. So I represent the real estate portion of our mission, because we can't accomplish nothing without owning terrain, because we are in a fight. I apologize for not being here earlier so I could talk to you directly, but the real estate piece is part of the reason why we fight in the community. This is part of the leverage that we create with social equity in terms of having a voice in our community. Like we have a far bigger voice when we fight as owners than we do as renters. So I don't know the complete and total situation, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people face, but I do recognize that real estate is being part of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a different economic fight when it comes down to taxes, you have a different voice. So I look forward to working with you offline, but I wanted to say that to the people that might be watching, that are relying on you to convey your message, your experience, and actually capture your personal trauma for the right reasons, because we all have been traumatized to some degree, but we don't know how to capitalize off of it on behalf of our community. So I applaud you for coming up here, telling your story, speaking to brothers that want to help, because we experience the same things based on the fact of just being Black in America. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that would listen to that and find a way to be offended, they don't want to help. But because you chose to speak on your personal experience, that says to me that you're looking for people that have a similar experience that want to add to the fight. So thank you for coming up here, speaking your piece, telling your truth, and tell people the facts of what you endure in the aftermath.
It's a pleasure, it's an honor to see a successful entrepreneur in this market. And you know, this is a topic that usually people don't think about.
Yeah.
When you are a kid, you have higher chances to actually graduate if you are not moving around like a nomad. This creates only PTSD and a problem with education, right?
Yeah.
Usually kids before age 12, they have moved a minimum of 7 times, right? And this disrupts the family dynamic and also a sense of security. If you don't have a sense of security, you don't have anything.
That's true.
Your schooling will be, affected. Partners get, under a lot of stress. Just moving is a task in itself, and it just adds to the divorce rate. Um, you see, there's a reason why Blacks and Hispanics are not given loans by some banks. Bank of America was just recently caught literally denying and targeting people of color. And, so they will not be able to either have a business or a loan for a property. Let's be honest about this. We need an audit, not just to Bank of America, but every single group, a financial group, because this is not unheard of practice in the banking industry. So thank you so much for bringing light into this humongous issue. You already know that only 8% of African American citizens go to college, and only 27% of the people who enroll Hispanic, from Hispanic background, only 20% actually graduate, if they're even lucky enough to
To even
put a
attend.
foot on a yeah, to even attend.
Yes.
And so I really appreciate, because you are actually tackling the root of this problem. You are a visionary, not just and when it comes to marketing, obviously, but you're looking for the future. If we have a mom house, a grandma house, our kids, our future generations will be able to graduate, and we will have more doctors, and we will have more lawyers, and we will
We
have
have more
more.
infrastructure all the way
Yeah,
around, because like not to take it from there, because I grew up with my great grandparents, my grandparents on both my mom and my dad's side, but economic structure doesn't afford us the opportunity to be young with new children and have grandparents that have the economic flexibility to bring in new children to help support until
yep,
they become of age where it's beneficial, to where the children don't have to go to daycare, and we don't know if they can even speak. You see what I'm saying? That's a big difference in the child that can say, hey, the teacher did something wrong to me, versus the child that just goes and you don't know what's wrong until they're able to talk.
yeah. There's a problem across the board. I
Yeah,
study child development at Texas A&M. I'm a professional child care. I have a license. I understand perfectly well what you're saying, and the lack of vocabulary at such a tender age. You see, I have seen horror stories when it comes to care, but it's also important to point out that it's more expensive nowadays to send a kid to childcare than
I
a
agree.
kid to college.
Yes,
And
yeah, absolutely. So what I will say is that I haven't had the chance to talk to you in depth. I look forward to talking to you offline. But
are you hitting on me?
no, I'm not. I'm not hitting on you. My girlfriend won't allow it. I appreciate the question, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if in a different life, we might have a different conversation, but that's not today. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get me set up for no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Ted, hey, bring my man
But
Deonte
let me
on.
ask you something. Let me ask you something
What's up?
before
What's up?
you
What you got to
before
ask
you
me? What's
abandon.
up? What you got?
Babe, tell me that you have friends in Austin, and then I will have your friends having my back here in Austin and every single county from here to Houston, because I need
Hey,
boots on the ground though. I
hey,
need
you
to
got
deliver
Cluren
flyers.
Williams. Cluren Williams represents my intent
Woohoo!
in Austin. Now, what I need to know is, do you have my energy? In the short span of time that I
I
had a
feel
chance to
you.
talk to you, can you come to Killeen, Texas, in this Bell County area between Temple, Killeen, and Copper's Cove, and come over here and bring that same energy? Because I got a lot to offer. I got a really, really big network, and then I get a chance to connect you to my military, affiliates.
Wow, that will be amazing.
Hey,
That
come
will be
on through.
amazing. I'm honored. I'm honored for
Hey,
that invitation. And yes, definitely. We let's talk. Let's talk and make it happen.
yeah, absolutely. Do me a favor. Drop your cell phone number in the comments, or in the private chat on StreamYard. I'm going to text you. We're going to have a conversation offline. We're going to build from there. You know what I'm saying? But without that said, with less said, I'm about to bring on my man Deonte, because he ready to talk. You know what I'm saying? He done talk to Ted, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, flex, man. Hey, Ted, thank you for bringing him, my man Deonte on. Deonte, talk to the people. Tell them what you about. Give me 5 minutes of what the fuck you on.
What's going on, man?
What's happening?
Man, chilling, making it work, making it do what it do. What I'm on right now, I'm gonna say, I've been working on this little foundation for the last like 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And the 4 years, it basically been in like the research and development stage up until now. You know what I'm saying? So I can give y'all more information in the chat, but I got a foundation called Each One Reach One Foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's a re-entry and pre-entry foundation for inmates who coming home and the ones who also in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let's stop for a second. I want you to say that with a little bit more enthusiasm. I need you to understand, like the people that's gonna get this. I need you to understand the impact based on the work that you've been doing, because you got partners that's in the same spectrum that's experienced the same level of disconnection from society because of whatever the structure is. So talk to them. Tell them about the adversity that inmates face when they become ex-felons trying to reintegrate into society.
All right, well, let's start here. I want to say about 2 years ago. No, let's start here. I'm 34, right? I got locked up. I want to say 16, turning 17. They gave me a lengthy sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. Yeah.
And you know, just being real about it, man.
Straight up,
like,
hey, yo, look, this space to tell your story, fam. This space to build your brand. You need to tell your story because people rely on you for your story.
Hey, yeah, most definitely. That's why I was like, you know what? Let me start here, verse there, because like that's the important piece. You feel me? So that little 8.5 I did, it took me about, I want to say, a clean like 1.5 years to get fully on track. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go in depth into the fully on track, like step by step. But after that, you know, just taking them baby steps, getting to, you know, where I am now. So I want to say 2 years ago, the governor of Wisconsin, I mean, I don't know why the man wanted to talk to me. I guess he was hearing about, like, you know, stuff we was trying to do in the community, whatever. And he asked me a question. And he reached out to my parole officer, actually. He was like, do you know anybody who successfully did prison, haven't had any violations, reoccurring situations? And she was like, you know what? Out of this whole state, I can think of like 5 people. So she called me down there, and the governor, you know, it was like a group of like 20 people, you know what I'm saying? And the governor was like, I got a question for you. Why do people who not only do crimes, they get out and either repeat the same offense or they keep coming back? Because he said we have a large problem with inmates coming back and recommitting crimes.
Hey,
said,
for the people that's listening, right? That's called recidivism.
I told him, I said, listen, I said, let's start here. The biggest flaw is with y'all system. It ain't even with them dudes, right? I told them, think about this. A lot of people don't know what being incarcerated feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my wife was talking. I was like, you know, what if, just example speaking, if you was locked in that bathroom for 2 days, like, how would you feel? She said, I go crazy. I should imagine 8 years or 30, 15 in that same little bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I told the governor, y'all have this re-entry program set in place that any inmate can get in. I want to say you only eligible for the re-entry program, I want to say 6 months before you release, right?
Yeah.
So he said, what's the problem? I said, okay, think about that. You got these cats who did 10 years, 15, 20, 30. How can y'all possibly get these dudes ready for the real world in 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So we got more in depth with it. So he was like, what do you think the solution to be? I said, okay, once again, it start with y'all. Communicate with these parole officers. Stop putting so much pressure on these cats when they first get out about jobs, housing. Man, them cats, they deal with enough that first day, because them first couple weeks is so critical. And like I told the governor and also a few other cats, even now the cats I keep in contact with, I said, listen, when y'all first get out, Don't focus. Don't worry about no job. Don't be looking at where people at versus where you at right now. Don't look at your friends who been out 8 years, who own houses, cars, this and that, the whole nine. I said, listen, first and foremost, man, mental health is real. PTSD leaving that place is real. Anxiety leaving that place is real. Depression, I went through it. Like, you know, when I got out, everybody think like, man, I'm finna get out and eat this. Man, I couldn't stomach that food for about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So, and anxiety, like, even going to Walmart was too much. I tell my wife, like, man, you just go in there and grab what we need to get. It's just too much going on. You know, I'm amazed by the smallest things, a squirrel, a tree, a dog, just the simplest stuff. So he was like, well, but we have workshops for people that come home from prison. You don't think that's effective? I said, listen, once again, let me keep telling you the loophole with this situation. From my personal experience, like I said, I did 8.5 in there. I got out. It took me 1.5 years to get fully together. You know what I'm saying? I said, listen, your first week out, right? He was like, yeah, you enroll in a job placement program. And it's real diverse. You got people who left the shelter in there. You got certain women in there, certain fellas who just got out or just need a job or just don't know how to do a resume, right? And then you got me in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this person up here talking about a resume, the do's and don'ts of getting a job. I told dude my first week mentally, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the time I lost, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you know, it can be a cousin that was 8 years old when you got locked up who 20 now. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on in your head, and that job is not a priority right now because your mind is all over the place, right? You fresh out.
Yeah.
And I told him, let's just say the second day, you granted to get a job. Mentally, you can't keep it. Emotionally, you're not gonna be able to sustain that job. So I told him the problem is these workforce centers. I said, listen, I got a better way of doing it. I'm not telling y'all though. I'm gonna just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like
yeah,
the job, like I told you, the job works in like all that's cool. The resume building, the whole nine. But like I told, like me, I got out no work history. I worked at, I want to say McDonald's when I was like 14. I'm 25 now, right? So that's the only thing on my resume. And when they calling these businesses, like they probably calling like, hey, do y'all hire felons? They say, yeah, hang up, write that job down, the whole nine, right? I said, listen, the program I'm doing, the Each One Reach One, I'm gonna physically call these jobs, right? And I'm gonna personally tell whether it's Tesla or whoever, listen, I'm with this company. It's a specific person that I'm sending to you. These are his skills. This is his past. Would you give this man the opportunity and let them personally connect and know who this cat is versus just, hey, he go along with the jobs that hire felons. And that's not gonna work, right? So I told them when it comes to the cats keep coming back, they getting out and there's no real resources, right? So right? So then he kept telling me like these other programs that they got out here that is set for people to succeed. And I told him it's not. I said I want to say about 35 re-entry modules that they told me.
I see you. I see you with the stacks of paperwork. Yeah. I need you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you between me and Cluren, aka Jinx, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I need to have a conversation with you offline because you can't even capture everything that's right here. Man. You can't. You ain't gonna get it all on a 1 hour segment. So
you're not, man.
So what I want to know is that what's the word of the day that keeps you balanced, that keeps you, you know what I'm saying, on the same straight and narrow? Because like I know you came here with a mission, you came here with a message to get people like you that have experienced similar traumas in life to stay on the same focus. So tell me what keeps you grounded.
I mean, what keeps me grounded, now outside of like my kids is like just personally, man, I got a lot of people who mentally depend on me. You know what I'm saying? Not even a financial thing. They mentally depend on me. Like they call me wee hours of the night and they know D gonna pick up. And like that one phone call, that probably, you know, it probably worked them through a tragic situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, fam,
Yeah,
look, let me go ahead and tell you, man. Look, I love my brother Cluren, you know what I'm saying, aka Jinx. However, he known in the streets, however he known in terms of the social justice construct. I would tell you this. Like the way that you're approaching things is the best way from experience. Like you got to show people that paperwork. I saw when you pulled that paperwork up. I knew what that was about. You feel me? So what I'm gonna tell you is this right here. We don't ever get a chance as leaders to be afforded the opportunity to make concessions, to make excuses, because the things that we go through are on behalf of other people, so they ain't never got to experience it, right?
Yep.
So when we pull that paperwork out, we want to go ahead and talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I love the fact that you took that initiative. You came here with the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? To talk to people about, look, I know what you up against. This is Black History Month. This is very, very, very important. Everything we do is Black history. You feel me? So, like, I love the fact that you took that initiative to bring it about. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I want you to take a second and speak freely about people that have experienced exactly what you've experienced. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I want you to run through it. I'm going to put you on the timer. Go ahead.
You want me to run through you said my personal experiences or what?
Hey,
like,
you got 3 minutes. I want you to go ahead and talk right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we're at 47. I want you to talk for 3 minutes.
Far as like the situation with the racist shit or stuff, were you talking about?
No. What's most important to you right now to tell somebody that's about to get their life on track, that's experienced something similar to you? I want to give you 3 minutes to talk to them about it.
First and foremost, I would say, if just me personally, and I had to explain this to one of my cousins, right? A lot of people these days, they kind of like do a very bad job of like balance. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll put everything on their plate, and that's where the stressing come from. The depression, just anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And like with people in my situation who on the verge of making the wrong decision, or probably you know, I've been there 6 years ago, like, man, this ain't working. I'm thinking about old little moves and whatever it may be. But most importantly, the best thing I ever chose to do was put God back in my life, though. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how spiritual you not or are or whatever. That's a key component, man. But you gotta have some type of like structure. You know what I'm saying? And just putting just God back in the center of everything, man. It just worked, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause at the end of the day, like I wasn't a big holy dude. You know what I'm saying? I went to church, but I think everybody, church for everybody to me in the Black community coming up, I think it's equivalent to some people gang banging who just hear it coming up and then they get older and that's what they is, and not really having no real education behind what they claiming. So when we was going to church, of course, for, you know, grams and grandpops and stuff like that. But once I got older, I had to get my own personal connection with God. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the most critical piece you can have out here, because like people who haven't experienced too much, they wouldn't know the significance of that. Like I can personally say it was times that I was in prison, man, where I knew for a fact I wouldn't have made it out if it wasn't for that man. You know what I'm saying? It was times where I was like, man, I just knocked down 5 summers. I got 5 summers left, 4 summers left. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like an album right there, bro. I ain't trying to box your experience in, but you got to make it count. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a monetized experience, because here's the thing. Ain't nobody going to add no emotions that matter to what you've already dealt with. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to go ahead and get your bag off of that. I'm telling you right now, don't feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed to tell your story, because a lot of times Black people, we feel ashamed to tell a story that we've already endured. But it's the reality of our people in this, you know what I'm saying? In this country, we've experienced the very thing that we don't want to experience. You feel me?
Yeah.
So ain't nobody sitting down dreaming about the experience that you've had.
Yep.
Period. Like you wouldn't have wrote this down if you wanted the perfect script.
Yep. It's very critical for like you said, people to definitely start sharing their experience, man. That's where a lot of people that's around me benefit from. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear it in multiple people like conversations when they talk to me, and I can just sit back and think like, you know what? I done been through that. I got a book of tools and jewels you can use to get through that. But I also ran across people who actually conceal that game too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Tell the people where they can find you at, because like we get ready to move into the UPC real estate portion of our programming. But I want you to get your just due. I want you to get your message out. I want you to get out where people know how to find you.
You can reach me on Facebook at D Lamar right now. My Instagram, you can reach me on there. My Instagram is oh my God.
Hey, pressure, like turn up.
Yeah, my Instagram is each one reach one foundation also, and I got a podcast coming up. It's called 43 North. To talk about these same situations, they can reach me on there also.
Okay, now. Hey, man. Hey, look, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to break away, tell your story, bring people to a greater understanding. And the purpose of our stories is to warn people from making certain decisions, right?
Yep.
But they're going to come to your podcast and find out why they got to make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be them, correct?
Most definitely can be them.
Hey, fam. I'm gonna go ahead and call you fam, because like you came through my boy Jinx. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have met you no other way. And I don't want to destroy that authenticity. So I'm gonna talk to you offline. And I greatly appreciate you coming to the studio. I greatly appreciate you coming to tell your story. And I'm humbled by the fact that you got that kind of time.
Most definitely. Appreciate y'all too, man. I'm gonna definitely send you my number too.
Absolutely, sir. Hey, I'm gonna hit you up and we're gonna go from there. Hey, Ted, I'm ready to get into the UPC piece when it comes down to real estate investment, where we are right now and what we're trying to do in the Central Texas community. So, hey, Deonte, hey, man, look, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you for telling your story, because this is what this platform is about: building brands, telling the story, and make sure we get compensated the right kind of way. So I want to talk about the real estate piece, and not necessarily just the real estate piece, but the things that UPC is involved in. For those of you that don't know what UPC is about, you know what I'm saying? What we got is Urban Power Connections. You know what I'm saying? And it means what it sounds like. Urban Power Connections is the dialogue that goes with creating generational wealth conversations. You know what I'm saying? From the intellectual property to the real estate. Where we're currently located at is the Clean Fort Hood area, where we've invested in the community heavily to renovate burned out properties in underserved communities, to draw attention for both grants and private investors that want to see a community thrive. What you have on the left of the screen is Ted. Ted is putting up my book, The Code. The Code is exactly what you see. It is a blueprint to solidarity among reasonable Black people. And what it comes down to is that we can only complain about our community so much before we do the intellectual work in our communities to improve it. So it is a mindset reset. So what comes along with that is the generational wealth conversation that eliminates the competitive topics that we talk about that don't amount to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, Ted, thank you for bringing that up. And look, we got my partner Jinx. I got my partner Cluren. You know what I'm saying? He got about 3 or 4 different names, and I want to bring him up because he bullshit. He done brought his beard to the backstage. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic and let the man finish up because he done try to finish up with his phone.
All right, now, so I'm sorry about that. Appreciate y'all for being with me. I had to fix up all my stuff. As you can see, it's getting fixed right now. We moved, man. I had some technical difficulties. Appreciate that, Victor. Okay, so Miss Linda Nuno, she is going in for Congress. Don't forget. Now, we're going to keep everything going every second with Cluren Williams. You know how it is. Appreciate you guys. The sponsors, UPC, buying the block back. You know what it is. That's what we about. That's what we promoting, building wealth. Thank you so much, Victor Vinziant, for that. Let's get into the Super Bowl talk real quick and our NFL picks of the week. Now, I want you to show me one of my memes, Ted. Now, I seen from The Simpsons, and they had this Simpsons show, right? We all know how the Simpsons shows go. They basically predict life, and they predicted that the Cincinnati Bengals will win 34-30. So to all the Bengals fans, if you're a Bengals fan and you like Chase and you like Joe Burrow, then you are luckily you're luckily advanced with information to bet on this game from The Simpsons. So thank you, Homer. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, the entire Simpson family, for always giving us a heads up on how to beat Vegas. Go for the Bengals. 34-31. Maybe it might be an overtime Super Bowl. I'm not going for the Bengals. I'm going for the Rams. So if you got a problem with that, you know how to hit me up and we can get it rolling. Ted, can you show him my meme, man? I sent you a meme that I got made today. It was from the Washington football team who just recently changed their names to the Commanders. Now, I don't know why, because hell, they should just stay the Washington football team. The Washington football team sounds a lot better than Washington football Commanders, or I guess Washington Commanders pro football team. It just sounds crazy. Do you actually got the picture, Ted, with the meme on there? I'd love for you to pull that up right now, man. It's up there. It's so funny. I've got this made earlier today. I sent it to you, Ted. If you can get that on there, and show the people for me. But the Super Bowl is going to be amazing this weekend. I think this is one of the best Super Bowls that to come this year. I'm so grateful for being able to, be here and see these times, man. Every time I look up, there is a historical time going on in this lifespan. We talking about first black presidents. We talking about watching LeBron James. We even talking about losing some of our most talented and greatest players of all times, like Kobe Bryant. So the Super Bowl will be entertaining. It's going to take us into a different space. Okay, go my meme right there. Blow it up one time. I want to this, man. This is hilarious. So the meme says, and I want you to see this. They went from laughing, man. I hope y'all get that. The Washington Redskins went from the Redskins to the people that killed the Washington Commanders. It's a killer. You just gotta get it. Sometimes some things are so funny because it's true. And this is one of the things that was just so funny, and it was so true. Also, we got some more news. I got some video footage of little baby getting into a brawl at a bowling alley with his baby mama brother. Now, one thing I can tell you, my nieces, I got nieces, I got sisters, You know, one thing I tell you about them girls, man, they always got their boyfriend problems. And you always got to wind up getting ready to choke one of the boyfriends out. So if you're a father and you got daughters, go on get ready. If you got your brother, you got sisters, go on get ready. Hell, you might even have to choke somebody out behind your mama. But those situations can become very tragic and very serious very fast. You're talking about messing with somebody's sister, somebody family, somebody, you know, like Scarface, somebody they like.
Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team. Know that I'll die for my team.